Welcome to Business Information Systems. I'm Dr. George Ray. I'll be your instructor this semester. And we're going to be using the McGraw-Hill Business-Driven Information Systems book by Baltzan. And you can see a picture of it here. It's an excellent text, and we're going to have a lot of hands-on exercises. In addition to going over the concepts of management information systems, we're also going to learn how Excel can be used to help drive business-driven decisions. And also, we'll learn database technology, have an introduction to database technology. Those of you with Windows PCs will be using Microsoft Access. And those of you that have a Mac will be using SQLite 3. And we'll go into these topics in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at our Sakai website for the course. And so I will switch over to that. So this class is actually two different courses. One is the Information Systems 582 for the Data Analytics Master's degree, and the other is MBA 582 for the MBA, of course. And you'll be doing the same material in both of the courses. So let's take a look at the syllabus and go over some of the highlights. Actually, before we do that, you can find the syllabus on our Sakai website by just clicking syllabus. And you can see it here, and we'll open it up and go over it momentarily. I just wanted to show you how to find it. So let's open that up. And here we have our syllabus, the course information. And again, it's going to be the same for both IS 582 and MBA 582. The text is Business-Driven Information Systems by Paige Baltzan. And we'll use the 6th edition because I think it has all the relevant material in, and it's substantially cheaper than the 8th edition. A recommended textbook is the 5th edition of Database Systems Concepts if you're interested in digging deeper into database technology. Your grades in this course will be determined by these categories you see. Technology plugins are going to be assignments that deal with a specific topic. And we'll have 8 of those, and each one will be worth 25 points. Likewise, we'll have a case study category. And with the case study category, we're going to analyze the same business throughout the semester and apply what we've learned from the succeeding lectures to the case study as we go along. There's going to be 3 case studies, each one worth 100 points. And so that'll be 300 points of your total. You'll have a term paper, and we'll go over the nature of that term paper in just a moment, but that'll be worth 200 points. And then finally, you'll have a midterm and a final exam, and they'll be worth 100 and 200 points respectively. So you'll have a grand total possible points of 1,000. And I will be recording the video, and of course we have disclaimer there. So you should know that we will be recording, so that if people for one reason or another are not able to make a class, then I am going to post that recorded version up on Sakai, so that they'll be able to watch the class in the recorded format. So we're going to have a fairly busy semester. This week one, we're going to be covering the chapter 1 in the book, and it's the chapter on management information systems. And while we go through these chapters, we're also going to have a case study. Now, the case studies are in the text, so it's just a matter of in class, I'll give you 10 to 15 minutes to read over a case, look at the questions, and then we'll go over the questions. So in chapter 1, there's actually 2 case studies we'll be going over, and you'll see those when we get to the lecture slides. In the other weeks, we'll have just 1 case study that we'll go over. Next week, we're going to be starting our tech plugins, and we'll learn the basics about Excel, and also the basics about using a computer in management information systems. Then the week of September 9th, we'll get into chapter 2, decisions and the value of data-driven decisions. And then we'll get into more intermediate Excel work, and we'll look at doing cross tabulations with pivot tables. The week of the 16th, we'll get into advanced work with Excel, doing things like a regression or optimization. We'll also look at chapter 3. The week of the 23rd, we'll have our first case study, and you'll apply the knowledge you've learned in chapters 1 and 2 to the case study. And we'll go over that, the particulars of that in just a moment. And we'll also cover chapter 4. The week of the 30th, we'll have our midterm exam. And then the 7th of October, that week, we'll have another case study where we apply the knowledge we've learned in chapters 3 and 4 to the business. And we'll go over chapter 5. The week of the 14th, we're going to go over hardware and software, as well as business intelligence. And then the 21st, we'll be looking at how we design databases. And then we'll go into our technology plugin, where we again study how we design databases. Then the week of the 28th, we'll have 2 technology plugins, the basics of using Access, as well as problem solving using Access. And if you're a Mac user, you can substitute SQLite 3 in place of Access. And then for November 4th, we'll finish up our work on databases. And we'll do case study 3, where we apply chapters 5 and 6 to our case study, the case study that we've been studying all along. Then the week of the 11th, we'll go over chapters 7 and 8. The week of November 18th, you'll be doing term paper presentations. And then we have Thanksgiving week, and then there's a flex week. Because of COVID-19, we have the universities put a flex week into the schedule to give us some leeway in terms of dealing with any requirements for COVID-19. And then finally, December 9th, we'll have the final exam. Now, again, as you're aware, there is this problem with the COVID-19 pandemic. And so the nature of the class may change. It's listed as hybrid. And so what that means is we'll be in person until the balloon goes up, if it does. And at that time, we'll switch over to online meetings. Now, if some of you cannot make our in-person meetings, we'll have pre-recorded videos that you can be using during those lectures you did miss. Okay, so let's take a look at our Sakai website, and we'll scroll back up first. And the nature of our grades, our tech plugins, case studies, term paper. So let's take a look at our resources section in our Sakai website, where we have that information that you'll need. So in our Sakai website, if we go to the resources folder, and it takes just a moment, you can see everything's laid out. We have the class lectures, and this is where you'll be able to find the PDFs for the material we're covering in a particular class lecture from the text. So these are the chapter lectures. Then we have the tech plugin assignments. So when we do, and you'll have noticed there were 8 of the weeks that we're actually doing tech plugin assignments. So each one of those weeks will have a lecture, and then we'll also have an assignment that we're going to do in class. We'll have a PDF that is the reading material that you'll be responsible for reading, and then we'll have an assignment that you'll do in class, and then we'll go, you'll hand those in, and then we'll go over them the next class. Now these are graded assignments. Same thing with week 2, week 3, and so on. So let's take a look at week 3. So here we've got a reading, we've got instructions, and this particular week we've got a worksheet that is used in the PDF reading. And then likewise, we have a worksheet or a data set that is used for the actual assignment. So if you click on the Excel assignment, you'll see that in this case, it's going to be Jitters Coffee. And Jitters Coffee is one of the case study problems at the end of the reading assignment for Tech Plugin 3. This one here. So again, for each one of those weeks, we're going to have a folder that we have the reading material and any data sets you'll need. Now, notice that once we get into database technology, we are going to split the class into Mac users and PC users. The reason is the textbook uses Microsoft Access, and unfortunately, Microsoft Access does not work for Macintosh. So for Macintosh, they ship with a database known as SQLite 3. So the learning materials for the Mac folks will be on SQLite 3. And then likewise for that's T6 Mac, and then T6 PC, the learning materials will be for Microsoft Access. Okay, so these are the tech plugins that we'll be doing. And again, that's an important part of your grade. here we've got next case assignments. So for those lectures where we have a case assignment, we'll be reviewing the case instructions. And so, for example, you know, for the first one, we've got some reading material. And I think we've seen the text, so we'll go here. And it's the cohesion case that's part of the text. And as I mentioned, we'll be going over different aspects of it throughout the semester. But the case instructions and then any data sets you need for a case study will be in the folder with the appropriate number, case 1, case 2, case 3. There's case 2, and likewise for case 3. The term paper is you're going to do a formal critique. So let's open up the requirements and the guidelines. So you're going to use the electronic library that that's available from the Shepherd University library system. And you'll select an article on the Internet of Things. This is an emerging area in management information systems. And you'll select an article from the articles that are available in EBSCOhost about the Internet of Things. Then you're going to do a formal critique. And this is something you'll need to know in your graduate studies, how to do a formal critique of an article. And basically, you do a summary section where you go over a summary of what the article said, and then you critique it. What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? How does it enrich our understanding? Things of that nature. And it's all laid out right here. So that's our term paper. And then you'll be giving a presentation on your term paper to educate the class on that particular article. Okay, so that's our course and the course website on Sakai. We'll go ahead and start with lecture 1, and then we'll have 2 case studies we'll be looking at in lecture 1.